Hello YouTube modelers, welcome back to my channel. I want to thank all my viewers and subscribers for tuning in. So the next kit I'm going to be starting is this Monogram 1969 Dodge Super Bee. Really getting into these Mopars, and of course this is a legacy. Well, they didn't change it to Revell, so it is a Monogram kit. 124 scale, fairly recent. I believe this one is dated 2020. I think it's still available. So I know the box art has changed, but it's 2-in-1, I believe. Build it custom or stock. I will probably be building it stock. I already know what color I want to make it. I want to spray paint it yellow because the Super Bee is black and yellow. I think it'll work out with that rear fender stripe, the yellow with the black to resemble the honeybee. So this is a brand new kit. Let me open it and I'll be right back. Okay, so I ripped off the bottom cellophane, but before I open it, I always wondered why Revell, some box art they leave the monogram, and why some of them they change it to Revell. Because I think the Grand National, the Buick Grand National, they also use the monogram. There's a few kits they still use monogram, while others already they changed to Revell. So wonder why they do that. But also just looking at the side panel, the way this engine is, it looks like another low parts count, similar to the 71 Cuda Hemi. Like the battery and the windshield washer fluid is probably molded into the engine compartment, and the only attachment is probably the master brake cylinder. Is probably missing the lower radiator and rear shock absorbers. But let's take a look inside to see if that's true. So body, glass, tires, and this. So let me open up each bag. Alright, so here are the parts. Let me bring the light down. These are smooth side tires, so I can use my tire decals. Here's the glass. I'm not going to remove them. I don't want them scratched, but it's basically the same as my other kit. The front and back glass, along with the 4 headlights. Here is the body. I know a lot of you guys like this body style over the early 70s where it had that long nose. I like the side design. Yep, battery and washer is molded in. Let's look at the chrome. You get 2 choices of, you get the stock 5 spokes, where I just have to black it out between the spokes, the front rear bumper, the chrome air cleaner for the 446 pack, black out the grill, custom wheels, the high-rise, what, supercharger or something, or blower, the carburetors. Okay, let's look at these parts. The interior, back seat's already molded in. Front torsion bar suspension is all one piece. Engine block, starter's already molded in. Yep, very, very similar. I'll probably bring out the brake lines. That looks like the radiator. The the front scoop, front seats. Yep, not too many pieces. Ooh, this one's different. The exhaust is molded not onto the chassis, but it is connected to the rear axle. Oh, it does come with shocks. So this one is a little bit more detailed. The dash. Hopefully it'll come with dash decals. It does have some raised detail. Okay, so this one is not bad. And then the hood. Okay. Look at that intricate serpentine belt. Okay, so that's all the parts. So I'm going to wash the parts here and then, oh, decal and instruction sheet. Yes. Comes with white or black depending on the color for better contrast. I think I will be using yellow. It'll match the little yellow bee that's in there. With the black stripes, so that should look good. There goes the air filter decal that says 446 barrel, Mopar, gauges. Ooh, hood pins or decals. They're not actually molded into the hood. That's kind of cheesy. Oh no, it is. So I guess you have an option of either highlighting it in chrome or you can use the decal. Okay, that's not bad. I usually like to highlight it if it's easy enough, but if it's too small of a detail, then I will use the decal. But what are these decals? They look like other variants of the bee. License plates. New Jersey, California, or Mopar. Oh, it does come with the tire decals. Look at that. I don't even have to dip into my own collection. Oh, I see. So you can either use these, Super Bee, or you can use these and then choose the one you want. So there's quite a bit of options. It's pretty cool. Okay. So we have a lot of options when it comes to decals. Usual parts and color. I probably will use seat belts and wiring. I hate when the papers stick because I can't turn the page fast enough for you guys. Yep, very similar to the other old Monogram Mopar kits. But I like that it comes with the tire decals. The exhaust is separate. And there are rear shocks. So that's good. Okay, so I'll wash the parts and I'll start spraying some colors. I think I will have to find or buy a spray can of fluorescent yellow because I want this one to really pop. So that's it for now. Alrighty, so my parts have come back from spray painting. Now, it's been teetering around 50 degrees, sometimes 40 degrees outside. So this one is going to be a rattle can job. So I really wanted it to pop, so I bought this fluorescent color from Rust-Oleum. Now this color is very thin and it doesn't really hide well, this color. Usually fluorescent green is not bad, but I always found any type of fluorescent yellow, it's very light in color, so sometimes if you have a black speck, you know, it'll come out or it'll stick to it. So this color doesn't really hide much. So I did have a little problem in the back because the Super Bee, the back has a lot of unique lines. So I had to lay the paint on pretty thick. So not the greatest in the back, but I'm not too worried about it because the decal will go across the trunk lid. But the thing about this color is if you lay it on light, it comes out very fluorescent looking, right? Even the back, it starts to turn a little yellow if you put 1 or 2 coats, but when you lay it on really thick, it really comes out yellow. So I'm gonna get a little bit of tone difference, but I don't know, undecided whether I want to strip it. I may just push ahead. It just looks a little fuzzy here because I just pulled the masking tape off, so that can be easily cleaned, but just the back didn't really quite come out that great. And plus some parts like the body got like multiple coats, and then this rear panel got like maybe 2 or 3 coats, and then this just got 1 coat. So not too worried about the chassis. This mating to the back is not too bad, but the multiple coats do give it a deep yellow, which is a little different from the bright fluorescent on the cap. I think this is probably the color I was going for, so I don't know. Do I strip it? Do I not? I don't know. But anyway, I just recently saw 60s Rule Dan's, the man's video, so I'm gonna dedicate this build for appreciation of Frank Frizzo, my friend. Hope all is going well and you're recovering well. Good to see you back into modeling. So I'm going to dedicate this mid-build to Frank Frizzo, appreciation. And then here are all the other parts. So not too bad with the parts, you know, typical monogram. At least the exhaust is separate even though it's attached to the axles. But I just have to think whether I want the body to strip it and redo it to get a lighter tone and to fix up the back there a little bit to reset it. So I don't know. I guess that's the risk you take when you try to push a build through spraying outside and it's less than ideal, because usually for me it should be above 60 degrees, but sometimes above 50 degrees it's sometimes okay. I do like spraying in the winter because the weather seems to be drier and not as humid as in the summer. But so I don't know, I'll see. Alright, so I ended up stripping the body and I repainted it, and it's much better now. So this paint, I think out of all the fluorescents, even airbrushing, yellow is very, very light. And it doesn't hide too well, meaning if you have black specks or something underneath, it's really not going to cover it because it's a very light tone. So even so, for example, even here you can see the dark undertone underneath because some parts of it have the black from the interior, so I might have to just clean up the sides where you see a little black shadow, because you can see right through the paint. It's very, very light. So this time, instead of spraying heavy coats, all I did at most was spray 2 thin light mists just to get a decent coverage and then leave it alone. It's tempting to go back, but you know, just spray 2 very thin coats. The problem with this is you get that nice green fluorescent hue to it, but the more you spray, the darker it becomes, and then it becomes like bright yellow, kind of. Like even on the chassis, you see in the middle here, it's starting to darken, but over here where the paint just barely touch it, it's like that bright fluorescent yellow, and then over here it's like that dark yellow. So I mean, the chassis doesn't really matter if you have tones that are not quite the same, but everything else I have to make sure it matches up, and I think it does now. Like the rear end panel and the front piece between the grille and the bumper, it's the same shade. So For this paint, just 2 very thin coats and that's it, and then leave it alone. This paint is actually flat in nature, flat and matte. So that's why you have to follow it up with a clear coat to get that shine. So from here, it's actually dry to the touch already, but before I wet sand and polish, I'm just going to wait 24 hours because this paint, it's very fast drying. Like in 30 minutes you can handle it. So I'm going to wet sand, polish, get rid of some of the impurities, you know, smooth it out a little bit, and then work from there. So that's it.